It is good to be back on this channel. Hey there guys, it's Metro and we're back with something. I don't know, I've been cooking something up in this way for a while now. This is not it. This is not what I thought I was going to be back with, not what I thought I was going to be showcasing for, the long, hard work I've been putting in here. But I ran into this idea after I put a bunch of work in. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But today we're going to be trying something a little different. Okay. So I've been, kind of working on making like the perfect version of WoW for myself through, private server means, solo private servers for a long time. I already have a full series on this channel that kind of was the start of that. And it was like a hard type, that's what we're going to be doing here today. I really like this concept of making WoW, especially leveling and early game, very, very hard. Something that you actually have to pay attention to and care about in a way that's not just hardcore or some nonsense like that. Making it actually challenging to kill enemies and to care about that. And we're going to marry our two favorite concepts here. I've been thinking and talking about this forever, and this was one of the coolest things they ever did in live WoW when they finally did it, was allowing Death Knights to be leveled from the lowest levels, allowing them to do zones while leveling that normally had no access to because of the level, situation. So yeah, you might have already surmised what we're doing here. We are leveling a Death Knight from level 1 in a Wrath of the Lich King private server that has relatively small alterations compared to the project I was working on, which again, we'll talk about in this episode. But yeah, this is a hard type leveling challenge. Let me show you guys what we're working with here today. And obviously there's going to be a lot to, a lot that has gone on here that's going to be very different than probably what you guys are expecting. But so the way I figured the best way to do this, I figured this out is we're gonna have no base stats. Okay, I try to have 0 base stats, but that's not. I guess that it causes an error. You can't have 0 stats for some reason. So yeah, we're gonna have 0 base stats. Like we're just gonna have 1 basically. So that means 1 health. So we have 21 health right now. You still have like a base stamina or a base health pool, even though you don't have a base stamina, which is kind of weird. I didn't know that was the case. And then we are going to do our favorite thing here, where we make a item that makes us take more damage. So in Classic, I think we did 100%, maybe even higher. I don't remember. I've been testing 200%, but this is an item that we are wearing. You might be able to see immediately. Since it's Wrath, we can make items scale with your health, or with your level. So it is going to go up 1% every level as well. And I think that might be a little too generous. We'll probably maybe change it if the playthrough goes well and I want to continue it as long as I can. But yeah, as of right now, it's going to go up 1% every level, starts at 100%, more damage taken. And again, we're a Death Knight. So you might think, well, what's going on here? There's a lot of ways you can do this. And I did not do this the most appropriate way. The way I did it was I simply just took all the rank 1s of the spells that you start with as Death Knight and nerfed them to the ground, to the point where, and I think this is a good opportunity. I probably can't see it, but yeah, the spells are mostly based off your weapon damage. So we have Plague Strike deals 50% of your weapon damage, Blood Strike deals 40% of your weapon damage, and Death Strike deals 75% of your weapon damage. That's just the normal spell. But on top of that, it also does extra damage, so we just nerfed that amount. So all 3 of these spells are just basically like regular spells that you would have at this level. The only big one we had to change was Icy Touch, because that does not do your weapon damage, and that's going to be a very powerful spell in this playthrough, so stay tuned for that. And then Death Coil, I did not change. And I didn't change it at all. It's going to one-shot mobs for a long time, which is going to seem overpowered, but I've already tested this, and it's not going to be overpowered for long. And I think what I did change was made Runic Power requirement 60 instead of 40, so it's going to be a lot harder to use. You're not really going to be able to use them back to back unless you commit into certain talents. But yeah, I think that's a really, really good version of Death Knight, and I think that plus the challenge and what we have here is going to be really engaging. So let's get to it, man, because I'm very eager to get started here. Like I said, I've already done a bit of testing, but yeah, Human Death Knight is definitely the way forward. No add-ons at all right now. I think we have Move Anything. That's it, just so we can move this stuff. But yeah, not going to use any add-ons for this. The Wrath client is actually surprisingly good. So let's walk you through a little bit while we do this questing stuff. I'm going to walk you through a little bit about what's been going on, kind of in the background here. I've been playing retail a ton, obviously, but I'm still very interested in Classic. And if you watch the playthrough I talked about already, where I made the warrior with the runes, kind of like a Season of Discovery style warrior back when Season of Discovery Phase 1 launched, and then I gave, the 100% damage buff to the character. That was a really big deal. I really felt like I had a lot of fun doing that. And the problem with it was not, okay, we gotta do that too, right? Yeah. All right, so anyway, the problem with it was not very, like, I don't know, it didn't really match up to my expectations of the difficulty. And then, you know, I don't know, I think it could have been done better. And we had Blizzard talking about, you know, doing all this new content for Season of Discovery, and it just kind of made me feel like, man, I can't do this. And the reason I couldn't do this was because the situation I was playing under, we were using the Hermes proxy to use the 1.14 client instead of the 1.12 client. I originally started with the 1.12 client. I did a Druid playthrough where it was like that too, you know, modified it basically, and it was just nowhere near, like, the client just sucks. It's so bad. Like, the 1.12 client is like unusable in my eyes. So I had to, oh yeah, you know what else we need to do? Oh wait, do we not have Frost Presence? Oh yeah, we do. Okay, we'll talk about that too in a second, but I gotta switch out of Blood Presence. It's too powerful. It's way too powerful, and I can't figure out how to make it better, so we're just not gonna use it. Frost Presence basically, like, one shot heals you, like, constantly. Like, it does more damage, or it does more healing than anything else in the game. I don't know if that's because it's, like, how little health I have or what, but it's really messed up. But anyway, the 1.12 client, totally unusable, so we couldn't make key changes to things that are client-side. We could only make changes to things that were server-side. So we basically could add quests, we could add items, and items were, like, not great. I feel like they were not great. There was a lot of problems with that client, but yeah, it didn't really work. It's a great idea. I put a lot of time into that and making the AQ event, and, you know, kind of really capturing the classic feel. So that's still there. Someday I'll go back to that at some point, but then I was like, all right, well, I want to actually start editing the game. Like, I want to seriously change the game. So how do I do that? Also, you're going to have a mountains playthrough because you start with a mountain no matter what. But anyway, how do I change that? And so I realized that in order to make the changes I want to make, I needed client-side alteration, which you cannot do. So I figured the next best option, because the 1.12 client's out, is the 2.4.3 client, right? It's a much better client, better technology behind it, and I think the big thing, the music continues to play when you tab out. I cannot believe that is a feature of the 1.12 client. You cannot keep the music playing when you're not in the game. The worst thing in the whole, like, it's totally unusable for that one reason. So I was like, all right, 1.12, here we go. That's the play. So I started, or 2.4.3. So that's the TBC client. Started to look at that. Client's a lot better tech behind it. Not great. It's not Wrath. I think the Wrath client is far, far, far better. And the Wrath client is substantially better technology, like, development. Like, people put way more time into making the Wrath client. Like, you can literally download Shadowlands textures and races and all this stuff. Like, you can actually pretty much make Shadowlands with this client. It's actually kind of nuts. But we're not going to be doing that, obviously. But anyway, so I was like, all right, 2.4.3, that's the play. And then, you know, people were talking about Death Knight stuff, and it made me realize, like, man, I would really like to play a Death Knight. I would really like to do what I'm doing with the 2.4.3 client, but with the Death Knight. And then I started looking into it, and I'm like, all right, well, the Wrath situation's way more attractive, like, way more people working on it. It's way more, you know, developable, I guess is how you would put that. But the gameplay's awful. Like, to get to this point, I did so much work. Like, it's kind of sad. Like, the TBC client and the gameplay in TBC is so much better. You already see how fast this is. Like, this is, we might actually have our first death here. We got Runic Power. One crazy thing about this is Chains of Ice is like a 95% slow. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. This is going to be such a cool playthrough because we can basically be arranged. It's really cool. Like, Death Knight can straight up be arranged. And you're going to see that in this playthrough 100%. Maybe not this episode, but we're going to have to do that because it's going to get really hard. It looks like this doesn't really look that hard right now, right? But yeah, it's going to get a lot harder. I promise you that. And there's some other things in tow here. A little bit of some surprises still to come. Because when I was messing around with the TBC client, I came to the idea that I wanted to make the perfect gearing system. Like, you guys might have heard me talk about this. The gearing system in Live WoW and pretty much post-Titan Forging is a real disaster. I feel like it's so bad, and I feel like it's very easy to fix. Like, because then when we saw Mop Remix, that was like, it's so, it rang so true to me. Like, it was so obvious that the way they handled Mop Remix is how they should handle all live WoW leveling. Like, they should just make a leveling system like Mop Remix, and that be a permanent feature. So that's what we're gonna do. I had begun doing that in that 2.4.3 client. I'm not gonna talk too much about how we got that done, but basically I have this idea in my head where I want WoW leveling to be kind of like Diablo 2 in this way, where the loot is like extremely random, extremely important. There's a lot of power to the loot, a lot of different ways you can build your character as well. You know what I mean? Like how in that game you could have like totally different loadouts with the exact same talents or whatever. And then on top of that, the other thing I really like about Diablo 2's system is for like early game stuff is the actual building of your character can be extremely nuanced or extremely one-dimensional. If you guys have never played Diablo 2, it features one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in the game, in any game. You can put infinite talent points into one spell. And so I really fucking like this idea. Like, I'm so attracted to this idea, it's kind of embarrassing. Because it just doesn't work in WoW. But like, imagine if, you know, I think it's probably hard to even think about in WoW because of the way the game works. But think about it this way, like if you had Blood Boil, Heart Strike, whatever, Bone Storm, all these different spells, right? And in order to get these spells, you had to get the spell ranks like they do in live WoW, right? But the spell ranks came through the talent tree. Like you'd get rank 1 of Blood Boil, and then if you put second point in, you get rank 2 of Blood Boil, and then on and on, right? But imagine a world where you can get rank 50 of Blood Boil. But that was 50 talent points. You know what I mean? And that's all you have now. You have only Blood Boil. How crazy would that be, right? It would be a totally different video game. Maybe it would be boring. People said that sounds boring. And honestly, you're probably not wrong about that. But I really like that idea. So I tried that, okay? And it didn't work. I'm going to tell you why it didn't work. Because you cannot put more than 5 talent nodes into one slot. So then I tried to add like 3 allocations of 5 in a row, right? So you have to put rank 1, then 5, and then that allows you to progress down the talent tree to 6. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's a lot worse. I can't figure out why that doesn't work. So that was out too. So what I ultimately settled on, I already had something settled on, but what I ultimately settled on was a system where you're going to be able to put talent ranks into your gear. Okay, so that may not make a ton of sense immediately, but how it's going to work is you have every single item has 3 slots for sockets available. There's probably a way to make it even more, but that's what we ended up with. 3 is the max by like the default in the game. So every item in the entire game from level 1 to level 70 has 3 sockets. Okay. Now, obviously, the gear has stats on its own, but I got all stamina removed from the gear. This is the predecessor to what we're doing here today. I didn't actually know that what I'm doing here today was possible. Oh yeah, we need Garrett too. So that's still going to be there, but it's going to be relatively irrelevant because when I finally do a playthrough on that system, I'm not going to have any stamina again, just like I don't again, basically. So anyway. That was the idea, and then I came up with the idea of like, okay, well, just like in Mop Remix, you can pretty much guarantee your stat. Like you can get like a level 1 piece of gear with haste and level it all the way up to max level, right? And that was really, really cool. So that's going to be like a core feature. You'll be able to get the gems. Here's how you get the gems. First of all, I think I made it so like any chest drop the gems. Basically, if you don't get an item from a chest, you get gems. You get a thing called Brilliant Glass. It's already in TVC. And when you open it, it gives you a gem. And that gem is like a max level gem, like a TBC gem. So it's going to be relatively powerful. You guys know I like that concept where you make the game extremely hard, but you give yourself tons of power in the equivalent of that to kind of, in the face of that more. And then then I came up with the realization, once I realized you can actually change the gems themselves, I started making gems with talent ranks on them. So you can get a regular gem that has like crit or mastery or whatever, it might have on it. Or you can turn 5 gems into a random bag that has class talent type gems on it. So for example, the shaman, I did a bunch of shaman. I've pretty much only done shaman at this point, like through to completion. So shaman has like a bunch of interesting talents, like for example the miss, what the hell? Anyway, the talent that makes your lightning bolt longer range, right? It's called Storm's Reach. So the talent normally adds like 2 yards, I think, per rank. So eventually you have maybe 10 yards extra, goes from 30 to 40. Well, with the gems, you could potentially have a 100-yard range. I love that concept. And you're trading power for that. Like, you know, you have to make a decision. Do we want, however, it'd be like 100 gems. Do we want them all in crit? Or do we want these specialized ways to play our character? You know, it makes it a lot more fun. And so we got all that kind of stuff. Like, make rock ellie longer, make your fire damage from totems. Your fire totems do more damage. Like, have a look at the shaman tree. And pretty much anything that seems like it would be stackable is on a gem in our game. Now, on top of that, we also did a full rework of all talents. And that was like my original idea was to do that. And like I said, that kind of failed. But it did work out at the end because what I did was I pretty much like every talent point is way, 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 way stronger, way more important. So in order to make that like, you know, it feels like you're making good choices, you have to work around the talents and the gems. Like if you wanted to maximize, you know, your Storm's Reach talent, you would have to take both talents and the gems. But say you don't want to play Ellie. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, I don't want to play Ellie. I want to play, you know, I want to play like enhanced style. So then you won't be able to get Storm's Reach, right? So now you're kind of compromising the gems versus the talents. And because I made every gem way stronger, or every talent way stronger, it like the right way to play might actually be like a full hybrid. Like you put a bunch of talent points into very specific talents. And I think it's the build diversity would be insane. I think there's a lot of replayability there. And then on top of that, we have the thing that makes and in the TBC version, I have 200% extra damage because of that to compensate for that. It's really fucking hard. But like I've only started testing it out because I feel like, you know, it has to be great. And I ran into some issues. For some reason, after playing the character, I think I'm like level 22 or something like that. It's like every time I try to log on, it crashes. It just keeps crashing. And I just have to keep trying to log on until it doesn't crash. And then once it stops, like when I get on, it's good. But I have no idea what's causing that. I can't figure it out. And because the TBC client is so like neglected, there's no info out there. In fact, if you go on like the WoW modding Discord thing, the TBC client doesn't even have its own section. It's tied together with Classic. It says Wrath as its own, Kata, Mop as its own, but then it says Classic and TBC together. It's like, oh, okay, so we're not gonna fix this. It doesn't seem like. So yeah, I have no idea what the problem is. I don't know. But all I know is it's excellent, and I just worry that I wasted a ton of time on it. So I was like, you know, honeymooning a little bit, like grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Like maybe I should have just did this on the TBC client. If I could just literally copy and paste everything from that to this, I probably would do it. The problem is I would have to like totally rebalance the actual classes because this shit is just way too ridiculously easy. And you can kind of see that already. But yeah, I think TBC is the future for us. I have a lot of great ideas there, and I put a ton of work into it. I feel like there was... Oh, yeah. Also, I like this idea a lot, too. I don't think any other game does this. But I really like the idea of stackable things in general. Like, just infinite. Like, you put your time into this, and if you are a master of, say, crafting Lion's Heart potions, or what are those called? The Elixir of Lion's Strength. Like, if you do that, and you do that a lot, you get the benefits of that. So what does that mean? It means I have stackable consumables infinitely. It's kind of overpowered. I think it's ridiculously overpowered, actually, if you really went out of your way. Like, if you just did nothing but farm herbs for a couple hours, your character would just destroy everything, and there would be no challenge in the game. So I think, like, because the thing about it is I'm trying to make a version of the game that also can be done at max level solo. Like, I can play the game max level and raid solo with this character being that powerful. And I'm hoping that the ring is going to be like the toggle. Like, I take that off when I want to go into raid content or dungeon content or something, you know? So I have to counterbalance both, because I do want that to be a feature, not just a leveling challenge. But it's hard to do that. It's very hard to balance that. So we'll see how that plays out. Now we're finally going to run into a little bit of challenge here. Any mob that's like higher level than us really exposes our lack of health, especially when we start missing. What I should have did was I should have got more food. We're going to need more food to be able to do this, but yeah. I will start talking about this a little bit more because there's still more to talk about here. But anyway, that was my idea. I brought almost nothing forward here because I just want to fucking play Death Knight. Like, honestly, like, that's really all there is. I don't really feel like there's much more. Like, it's just basically play Death Knight. And I don't know. I'm really happy with how this has played out so far. I love Death Knight. I love the concept of, like, I've never played an early Death Knight, to be honest. And you see here, like, we're already running into, yeah, we might die here. Luckily, got a huge miss. Death Strike does absolutely nothing, by the way. It's crazy how little it does. And this thing is not, oh, we missed again. That's strange. But here's, I'll show you the overpower trick. Look at this. 95% slow, 2 runes. One does damage, the other one doesn't. Frost Fever does almost nothing right now. But I do have the dots still. We just kite infinitely. Now, the thing maybe not immediately obvious, getting runic power. Of course, using the runes causes you to get runic power. There's enough. Boom, dead. Never took damage. So we're actually able to play this as like a full range, which is really, really cool. So I think this is going to be extremely fun. You know, I don't know how long we're actually going to spend in classic zones. Like, leveling is still kind of quick in Wrath. So we'll see. I'm the sky's the limit here. I'm really excited for this. But yeah. I think class design in Wrath is interesting. I just think it's a lot less fun. There's some spells, like, I really like the idea of, like, Divine Storm and Classic kind of thing, like in Season of Discovery. But, yeah. So that's the whole, that's, like, how we got here, okay? Now, my goals for this. So let's talk about what we're doing with this. So I talked about, you know, the intense gearing customization and all that stuff. That's not going to come through here because I'm just focusing on Death Knight. And I was looking at maybe modifying the talents or doing something a little bit similar. It's really hard because the talents for Death Knight are so, like, unique. I can't show them right now because I'm not level 10 yet, but the talents are so unique that it's almost like you kind of can't do what you want to do with it because it's like hard to explain, but it's like all server side basically. All the talents are server side. So like if you get like I can't remember the name of it, but it's whenever you have all your blood runes on CD, you get a 5% damage taken debuff. So you take less damage, right? That's not client side, that's server side. So you'd have to like recompile the code to change that. So it's like actually very little that I can change about Death Knight. And that's probably a good thing because it would cause me to maybe over-design it a bit. But yeah, anyway, that's where we're at. So let's talk a little bit about this project. Now let's see, I'm going to reveal this for the first time. We'll see if this is going to work out. But I have a really interesting concept here that came thanks to all the people who are actually developing stuff for 3.3.5. Let's see if we have an answer to it. Yep, there we go. You can see that, right? So this is basically a better version of what I wanted. Let's see, nothing on that piece, but that's a cloak, so that's an upgrade. Here's another one. Okay, and the boots have nothing. That's not even an upgrade, basically. The shield. Well, we can't use the shield, of course. Ah, look at that. Whoa, what the hell is that? Huh, I've never seen the red text. Ranged attack power and fire spell damage. Okay, so we have a thing that's like basically came with this repack that puts random stats on gear. Now the gear also has regular stats, just like on the TBC thing we talked about, but it also has random stats. Okay, so like this is basically what I would have wanted. Like if I could do this in TBC, I would do that instead. That's why I'm honestly like, should I just start over? Because it's actually really attractive. Like, it's totally random as well, it looks like. Like, we got 2 arcane spell damage allocations on it. You can get up to 3 modifications, and sometimes you get none. A lot of times you'll get none, right? So it's pretty much just like like Diablo has it. What do they call mods or whatever in Diablo? Where you can get like a high roll. So like, you know, we got, I mean, you can even see it, right? Like 33 on the one roll and 31 on the other roll. So it's actually very interesting in that way. I love this idea, to be honest. So we're going to see how this plays out. It's going to probably going to make the playthrough really easy by the end, once we have like really good gear. But what may not immediately be obvious, in fact, I'm going to go do that right now, I think. Let's finish this quest. And then we're going to go do that right now. But what might not be immediately obvious, pretty good way to farm gear in the game called crafting. You know what I mean? So we're back to the crafting concept here. I like this. I think it's going to be really cool. And to get out ahead of the difficulty, we're going to go craft some gear. So this episode, we're going to go pick up mining and stuff. We can have also every profession on this. Very easy to do that, so we've done that. I like that idea on a solo server, like having access to every profession just in case you need that. We'll probably only do mining so far. Maybe in the future we'll pick up the other stuff. But yeah, that is definitely our goal. Also a cool little module where whenever you get a gray, it instantly just gives you the money for how much it would vendor. Not really sure how that worked, to be honest, but yeah, that's a thing. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. So that gearing schema is like replacing everything else I just talked about, and I honestly like that better. Like, we could still do the talent thing, because the thing actually that I really wanted to do that I couldn't do in TBC, you know how in Wrath there's something called the belt buckle. The belt buckle puts the sockets on the gear. I would much prefer that. So the gear doesn't just drop with 3. You have to put the sockets on the gear yourself. I don't necessarily know how I would work that in, but it's something that I can work in. So I was thinking maybe whenever you get a piece, you get like, I really like the idea of recycling loot that you don't need. And we do that in the TBC version. You can, I never mentioned that, but yeah, you can disenchant every item in the game that's like green or higher, I guess, to give you gems instead of actual enchanting materials. You will get gems. So
what are you looking for?
Yeah, that's how you're gonna get gear, basically. You're gonna do the enchanting concept. Now we should definitely keep the potions. Anyway, yeah, that's like mostly how you would get your gear, or mostly how you get your gems. So I like that concept a lot, basically. TLDR. I like the idea of getting gear you don't want and recycling it into something you do want. And I wish that would be like the #1 way I would make WoW's gearing better. Talked a lot about this for Mythic Plus. But so, yeah, I really like this idea. And I don't know how it's going to work out in Wrath. But I would like that to be the way it worked out, I think. If you had like the ability to disenchant the gear and get maybe I don't know, maybe 3, because there's no way to add. I think we could do this. They call this like slamming for some reason in the Diablo community, and then I guess like Path of Exile and shit. But I think you can make it where it's either 1 to 3 sockets get added. So that's fucking cool. I might do that instead of just automatically add 1 or automatic, because if you automatically add 1, then that means you need 3 sockets, 3 belt buckles every time, and that kind of makes it a little bit less fun. It'd be cool if you can get like 3 belt buckles, right? Or 1 belt buckle and get 3 sockets. So I don't know. There's a lot there. I don't know that I'm gonna mess with it just because, like I said, I'm not really that interested in Wrath and the content of it. But it also has some really good tech. Oh, yeah, there's all these like quests around the city, right? It has this really good tech where it's hard to explain it. Like
safe travels.
Basically, like, Cold Snap, right? Cold Snap exists in Classic. It's one of, I think, only 2 spells in the game that actually reset your CDs. There's a lot more like this in Wrath. And I really like that. That was one of the ways I wanted to speed up combat in TBC, was to make a lot more things proc in the talent trees. And it's pretty hard to do that in the TBC client because there's very few reference points that I can kind of copy paste. You'd have to change the code of the game, which I'm not able to do given the way I tried to do it. So yeah, I think we're kind of limited, but there's other ways to do it. So like, for example, I made, like Enhanced Shaman in Live WoW has that thing where you might be able to use Storm Strike multiple times back to back because of a proc. Well, I wanted that. And when you say it out loud, it's like, okay, I know how to do that, right? You just make it reset its cooldown. But since you can't reset, you can't actually go that way. Since you can't reset its cooldown, what we had to do instead, where was this guy? Since you can't reset its cooldown, what we had to do instead was we had to make a proc that makes the next use free. But that's how we handle it.
Good day to you.
So the next use of it is free, and then the next use is free and doesn't incur a cooldown. That's how we handle it. So then you can still use 2 back-to-back Storm Strikes, but it's not going to take the current Storm Strike CD off or anything. So it's not what I would want, but it's good. Like, it's fine, not bad. You know what I mean? Good enough.
Hello. Have a good one.
So I'm pretty happy with that. And so we want to keep making combat like that. So I've done full reworks of Shaman, all 3 specs now. Didn't talk about Resto. Resto is the outlier here, and I really like the idea of a healer being a fun leveler. So I want to make ways that that can be true. Having a little trouble with that. But yeah, definitely because of how hard the game is, like it's actually extremely hard to live in that version, especially early. It does make Resto arguably more desirable because you can get so much power from the gearing, like the schema of the gearing. It's actually kind of weird to even not be Resto. Like, it almost seems pointless, right? Like, you're not going to get Storm Strike or whatever, like the core talents are, but you got mad healing. Like, you can just solo everything at that point. You can heal through everything if you put, like, cause like I said, I buffed all the talents too, you know? So yeah, interesting. So we added some powerful stuff to Resto Shaman, try to make it more functional. Big like kind of overhaul point for Restos for healing specs in general is make their talent points way more effective and way less needed. So for example, there's a lot of times when you get like 5 talent points for 5% crit for your healing, something like that, right? We just did 1 talent point for 5. That's it. 1 talent point for that kind of spell. And then, you know, so you can put your talent points into the Resto tree a lot easier without feeling like you're wasting it. Like, you know, I'm not going deep into a healing tree when I'm not going to heal anybody but me. I like that concept. And the one I haven't started working on, though, is Discipline. I think Priest in general is magic. It can be really fun. But that one has got a little bit, like, it kind of bothers me because we have, like, Penance and Priest in general and Wrath is so much better than TUC. It's actually insane. So I don't know. We'll see. I may just, I don't know. I really don't want to just start over. But given the fact that where's the mining train? Oh, it's in the house, right? But given the fact that we basically are contending with potential crashes constantly, that really scares me. Like, really scares me. So this is really loud. That really scares me. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not really too committal just yet. That's why I haven't like started a series on this or anything. But that's not where we go. Where do you get mining training? Actually, do not know the answer to that. Yeah, we're gonna go do some crafting. I want that to be where we end this episode. I gotta figure out where the mining trainer is, so I guess we're gonna look it up. Mining training. Storm Wind. Oh, he's in the house. It's in this house. Stonehand mining shop. Over here? Yeah. Right here. What, upstairs?
What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever actually done mining as a human.
What's your back?
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, if you guys watch me, like, so I had a playthrough going. I mean, I would still like to do that, where we try to craft every item in the game. Basically, now that I've learned how to mod the client and the game as well with the client, it's kind of hard to care about that old type of playthrough, because what I would really like to do is make like a revolutionary crafting system, like something way different. I remember talking about that in that playthrough, about how I really like Dragonflight's crafting system, where you actually have an incentive to craft items. So I don't necessarily know how I would do that, but something that kind of stands out to me immediately is, you know how in TBC there's that like, what's the name of it? Storm Flurry or something like that? I remember from an Athene video. I just need to remember there. Deep Thunder. Deep Thunder, the way he says it, yeah. 2v2 with Deep Thunder. Anyway, Deep Thunder. It has 3 levels, right? There's like the small level, the medium one, and the best one. That's pretty attractive. I really like the idea of actually like kind of empowering weapons and stuff, like, or gear in general, making like how the crafting system is in Live WoW, where you can just infinite, like I could put badges of justice, you know what I mean? So I'm very likely going to do a system at some point where we have like many levels of gear, and I can't decide if I want to do it with crafting or if I want to do it with actual raiding. I don't know yet, but it's out there, and it's probably going to happen at some point. So we'll see. We got a lot of ideas and not a lot of time to do them, but this is what I've been working on with some free time, and I think I got a bright future. Because I love Classic, I love the early game, I love leveling challenges, but you know, unfortunately, Retail WoW really fucked it up, man. That like account-wide buff to your, like, every time you level a character, you get a buff. That's garbage. That is awful. Terrible, terrible decision, and yeah, I don't like it. Even if it never really makes an impact, I don't like that. I would like leveling to take longer than 3 zones. Like, it sounds like you can level very easily now with very few zones, and it's just not interesting. Okay, I'd really like to get that chest. There's a chest there. We're not going to get anything special from the chest. One problem with this idea... Oh yeah, we're fucked here. One problem with this idea is we can't actually... Hold on. We can't actually allow it to loot it from items that drop from the world, because the world, like any drop in general, has the ability to be a gray. And so this... Oh, that missed? What the fuck? Oh, no, we didn't. That gray automatically vendoring thing, it's like, it crashes the game, basically. If you get a gray that would put stats on the gray, and then it would automatically vendor the gray, it crashes the game. So I can't have it be from actual content like this. It has to be from either quest rewards or, yeah, crafting, basically, or dungeon. I think maybe, I don't actually know if it's going to work in dungeons or not. I guess we're going to find out someday, because if I guess a gray drops in a dungeon, I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, we'll find out someday. But as of right now, it's going to be mostly through questing and crafting. Those are the only 2 ways that you're definitely going to get it. Okay, let's see what we get here. We do get a staff. That's not useful. Okay, let's get some mining stuff. Oh, is that how mining works in Wrath? I did not do that. I did not change that. I thought it was still working like in Classic, where you hit the mine multiple times to get it. I swear that's how it worked in Wrath. Maybe that's a change with this client. Because this, like, people basically... like, take the 3.3.5 client and try to turn it into Dragonflight and Shadowlands and stuff. It's crazy. They, like, modded the shit out of this. Like, you can literally download, like, High Mountain Tauren and play as a High Mountain Tauren in Wrath. You know what I mean? Like, pretty wild. Very, very wild, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. I swear, yeah, we just got 4 copper and 6 stone. That's no way that's how that was in Wrath, right? Didn't expect that. Anyway, okay, also I want to just alert you to this. I made this spell. It's like a shield. I don't need it. I don't think it's needed. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do anything in this game. But I don't need that. We're not going to use that. Alright, let's go, and we'll just go do the questing now. Also, I have a patch for darker nights. It doesn't feel that dark here, but man, if you go to like Duskwood or something, it's remarkable. Very, very remarkable. But yeah, that's our goals, that's our future. I want to, level this character. I want to see what we can do with it. have some fun with that, and hopefully, you know, it'll be challenging. It'll be fun with Death Knight stuff. Oh shit. Oh, these mobs shouldn't be that difficult. But yeah, if you don't know about Death Knight and Wrath, it's very different. We have 3 runes, and then there's a talent in each major tree that allows you to, like, how best to describe it? It allows you to convert one of the runes into another type of rune that's like a catch-all rune. Like, it's not a frost, blood, or unholy rune. It's called a death rune. And the death rune can be used for anything. So that's pretty damn good. And I think that's, you know, the talents and the way Death Knight plays is actually really fun. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that, I think. Actually, when can we get the... Yeah, let's go do that quest first. I don't really, even though I've done these quests a billion times, I can never remember the actual flow here. I want to get the Gold Tooth quest. Is that after this stuff? I think I need to ding 6 first. That's why I don't have that right now. But yeah, this mine is going to be hard. So stay tuned. There's 6, yeah, now new quest. Yeah, oh, that's Princess. There's another quest. Okay, now it's bring pork belly pie. Unfortunately, there's like not a lot of quests that give loot right now. So we're not going to see another piece of gear that's interesting until we're like down that way, basically. I don't think any of these quests give any loot.
King's honor, friend.
But yeah, I don't know if anybody's even here still watching this channel or what, but like, yeah, I'm going to try to get back to this stuff. I have a lot of passion for just kind of world content in general. And yeah, if you guys know me, it's always been my dream to, you know, I like modding games in general. So to make my favorite game even better, this is it. Like, I couldn't be happier having full access to this. Now, like I said this a bunch, like if I had access to Season of Discovery stuff, well, we wouldn't do anything but that. That would be really cool. There's so much good content in Season of Discovery, man, but unfortunately the people just totally kill it for me. It's so much more fun to do this totally solo. Are we gonna pull both there? I think no. Quickly throw the death coil. Oh, it's already gone. Fuck. Alright, so yeah, you see these mobs are pretty dangerous. But the food is going to regenerate, like, since we only have 20 or 66 health, like, yeah, it's going to go quick. Yeah, I was thinking, like, if I actually get this character to higher levels, I may implement that blacksmithing the socket thing. Because I'm not, obviously not, I guess, yeah, we would need some extra power. Besides just whatever we have. That gear alone is not going to transform the character. Oh shit. See, there's mobs respawning and everything. Oh man. Also, we don't have... We could definitely give ourselves access to the like rune system, the rune forge system. But instead of doing that, I just gave myself a spell that gives me the equivalent of Rune of the Fallen Frosting or whatever that thing is called. It's called Frozen Rune Weapon. I don't even know if it's working right now, but regardless, I have it. It might not be working. Maybe there's like a spell requirement to it proccing or something because I haven't seen it really, but either way, we can do that instead. A weapon buff, and I could add the other ones too. Like if I wanted to add Fallen Crusader or Stone Skin Gargoyle or whatever the other. There's a lot of unique ones in Wrath, but they just kind of suck. Like they don't really do anything. I don't think there's much of a use case for most of them, unfortunately. Yeah, the sky's the limit. We can do anything. I just don't really. Like, if I'm going to spend time developing stuff, it's going to be for that TBC client. But I'm not going to spend any more time on it until I'm sure the client is not going to have issues. Because if it does, then I wasted all my time, and we need to convert that time into this. The gem stuff was, like, a lot of fucking effort. Like, that's some of the most effort I've put into any modding project. So I'm going to be really upset if we have to redo that. Basically what I had to do was I had to like sort every item, like in the table of items, every piece of gear. You had to sort by basically by piece of gear, and then you know, isolate the column that adds the mining or that adds the gem, and add the number like row for each item. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of items, I think. Maybe not hundreds of thousands, but like, oh shit, an absurd amount of items. I don't know. It's a ton of work. So I'm not looking forward to doing that a second time. But I think now that I've gotten good at it, it won't be that bad. Which way do we go? Oh shit, that's really good. Okay, we're gonna use... No, I didn't even get to react in time. I was gonna click the health pot. That was stupid. Okay, first death. Yeah, fighting 2 mobs, fucked. Total fuck. Like, no way. Just a total death sentence. Because we have 66 health. And those mobs were doing what? 15 each? So yeah, it's pretty much unsustainable. Alright, Death Strike heals for... Where is it? Or did I miss it? I don't even know if I used it, but it heals for like almost nothing. So we talked about it before, but so what Blood Presence is, it's 15% more damage, which alone is really powerful. But it's supposed to heal you for 4% of the damage dealt. That's what it says. That is not what it does. It heals for like 100% of the damage dealt. I have no idea why. It doesn't appear to be a bug in the files or anything. So I like actually don't know how to fix that. Because it straight up just doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do. Yeah, so it's like late. Like I actually don't know what to do there. Where are we right now? Very lost. Looks so different when you're dead in here. Yeah, we went through this area? No, we never did. Should have went in the other entrance. Actually lost. We can res here, but we'll never live. Oh, there's a bunch of mining nodes and stuff outside too. Oh, everything's just like fully respawned though at this point, so we're probably fucked no matter what. Okay, that didn't aggro at least. Oh, now it's respawning? Okay, yeah, we're just dead again. Oh yeah, it's like a full wave, we're fucked. Yeah, no shot there. Okay, we'll have to run out and start over. That's another thing about Wrath, at least from what I can tell. Maybe it's just the server structure or something, but Wrath, the content appears to respawn way fucking quicker. I think, let's just take rest seconds. I think that's because of the, because they were trying to get people to level faster, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it is in Classic. Look how dark it is now. It's not really dark now. But yeah, it's not like it is in Classic where, you know, things were a much slower cadence. I think. I don't know. Could be a bug, but that's what it looks like it is anyway.
How are you? See you later.
Just turn some stuff in, I guess. I wanted to finish these quests at this rate. Not going well. But yeah, I want to finish these quests and then we'll go and craft stuff and that will be the end of the episode kind of thing. Let's go in this way though because there's a bunch of mining nodes over here it looks like. Misses absolutely brutal by the way. When you're dealing with potentially like only 4 or 5 globals before you get killed. Can't really afford to have that one miss. Like we might actually lose this 1v1 now because of that. Like they definitely eat up. It's real dark, huh? It's actually crazy. Honestly, maybe a little too dark. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, the blood, like, the way Death Knight plays in Wrath is actually really interesting. It's meant to be like, the more disease, like you put diseases on and then do more damage with the rotational spells. But it's like, it doesn't really work that way, I feel like. Like it doesn't do, I don't do any more damage, it looks like. But I guess it does, it's just some so low level it's not noticeable or something. And then Deathstrike, like Deathstrike's the one that's I'm really commenting on because it says, heals the Death Knight for 5% of his maximum health for each disease on the target. And there's like, that's no way that's happening, it doesn't look like, right? Okay, chest. One-handed sword, we don't want that. Mining, we do want that. Where, is there more? There's another chest over here, yeah. I think we had these opposite when I tested that. That's why my instincts are wrong on that. It's honestly just fun attacking mobs. Like, it's actually quite fun just to play this character. It's a lot more This is like a way better version of Classic. Like, Death Knight in Wrath is like fucking awesome. A lot more active. Okay, we're going this way. Still haven't discovered... We haven't scouted through the mines, so that's not good. The animations are kind of garbage, so... You're almost like spamming them to such a degree that you can't even see them play out. It looks kind of weird. Yeah, obviously this is like a totally overpowered, like, I'm sure other Wrath classes are this broken. But like having this many rotational spells at level 5 or 6 or whatever, yeah, that's what makes it overpowered. But the cool thing is we can just like craft bracers over and over again until we get like 5 strength proc or something like that, whatever you'd be the max would be for this, you know. Probably won't do that. I mean, we'll see. Stamina, we definitely want that. But yeah, it's also another thing, Death Strike, or Death Grip, such a fucking cool spell to have while leveling. Didn't think that was gonna aggro though. Still have 1 potion, we'll just take it because I don't want to die. Didn't have to do all this again. We did get the credit for that. So if for some reason can't finish the rest of the quest, that's fine. We'll come back in the next episode. Yeah, Death Strike, or I keep saying Death Strike, but Death Grip is just such a badass spell. Like as a melee, you know what I mean? Such a cool spell. Oh, we should have really saved our runic power for this one, huh? Oh, that didn't aggro. I thought for sure that was going to aggro based on how things have been going. Yeah, I think it's, you know, since we're in kind of dire straits right now at least, We want a Death Strike on cooldown, and then just wait for the enough ruining power to finish the mob. And we ding 7 there, which is good. Should be pretty quick to 10. I mean, we probably could have done that one episode if we really pushed for it, but again, apparently I'm recording this at night, which is not normally when I would play. But I wanted to do this so bad. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do another episode, but I'm not going to publish these until I have a few of them to make sure I can get. I don't want to start a series and then not upload something for like a week. Oh shit, it's bad. We got more healing pots though. Okay, we got a nice miss there. That was huge. Another cool thing about having this little health, like any spirit at all, is like gigantic. Gives like full regen. Oh shit. Oh, what? How the fuck does that aggro? It also feels like this is like maybe bugged in that way. Shit aggro's like way differently than I expected to here. But that's only gonna make it harder, so we're happy with that. Not a problem in my eyes. Again, I should be saving. I should be pooling runic power, like I do in live WoW. Yeah, like we're fucked now. This is an actually hard mob. I think we can grip it. Oh, it's not even ready. Mob here. We didn't aggro anything else, it looks like, at least. Nothing behind us. We have the health pot. Just gonna use it. Don't want to die again here. Enemy down. Let's go get the mining materials and then we'll get out of here. Just gonna hearth once we get this stuff. Oh, there's another chest too. Yeah, if you watch my other playthroughs, you know that like in the classic one, chests were like a leveling experience basically, because I like that concept. And then in the TBC one, chests were like the main, like a really, really effective gearing way because of the gems. Oh, there we go. That's what we needed. Two-handed. Let's just hearth. Where did that go? Oh, here it is. Ah, that's fucking gigantic. Look at that. Of the bear, too. It's crazy. Stamina is really our best stat right now. Alright, so let's go craft. Now, from what I can tell, there is no stamina enchant for this concept. I don't know why. I crafted a bunch of stuff, and I never seem to get a stamina thing, so I'm not really sure why. Any other small upgrades? Any grays that we get are not gonna, like, they just get vendored, so we're actually wearing grays right now, you know? Or sort of, but yeah, there's actually like challenge modes built into this. I might as well show you that. This is gonna be like very open. I want to show every part of this. Like if I make a change, I want to show it. So here's all the modules that this shit comes with. A lot of stuff here. If you have any questions, ask. But yeah, we got the AQ war effort going on in Wrath, which is really cool. What was I even talking about? I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, there's a transmog one. I haven't set that up yet. I legitimately don't know what I was looking at. Get used to that. I got distracted. I don't even know what I was looking at. But anyway, yeah, a bunch of modules that you can turn on and off. Another thing I usually do is make items stack like to 200. So we need to do that too at some point. Gotta hang on to the stone. Probably hang on to the cloth. Maybe the gems. We can also take jewel crafting. I don't know how we get jewel crafting in Classic. Like in this... this thing. Oh yeah, I need to turn that off too. What is the name of that one? It's like time reward or something like that. The more logged on you are, the more chances you are to win items or something. Some like fun server shit. Time is time. I think, oh no, that's the one that makes the day and night cycle not a full day. That's a cool one. You can have player bots. You can have like hundreds of characters on, but I turned that off. Oh, here's the random enchant one. So it's a 75% chance to get one, and then it's a 65 to get a second one, and a 60 to get a third. And we could change all that. So it looks like, yeah, right now we have it on. We can't have it on during looting an item, but we can have it on creating, quest rewards, and if there's a group role. So I guess that means in an actual dungeon. That's pretty cool. Oh, is there anything else interesting? Skip DK module, that's how we did this. Because otherwise that would have been a pain in the ass. We would have sat there and do every quest, probably. Spawn, arena, PvP, phase duels, raid professions, no Hearthstone cooldown, money for kills. I turned that one off, but that's cool. You can get actually just loot from killing enemies. Improved bank, you can access the bank anywhere, but I don't really like that. You can make a guild house. Dynamic loot rates could change based on the content you're in. Dead means dead. This one's really cool. Do we have this on? Yeah, we have it on for 2. So if we kill an enemy in a dungeon or a raid, it will not respawn. So I don't know if that means ever. I don't know. I think probably if you reset the server, it respawns, but custom server. Oh, that's fireworks when you level. I don't know who the fuck thought of that. That's stupid. AQ war ever boss in that? Oh, world bosses looted or killed. Achievements. Oh yeah, you can make achievements account wide, which is kind of cool. Leech, you can make it so you automatically leech. Digital experience, emblem chance for dynamic experience. You can change the experience based on your level, which is actually a pretty cool idea, to be honest. I should probably have done that like half level from 1 to 10 or something, but here's the challenge. This is what we're looking at, challenge modes. So here's the ones that are currently coded. You have hardcore. If the player dies, you can't revive. Semi-hardcore. This one's really cool, by the way. I like this a lot better than regular hardcore. Players who die lose all their worn equipment and carried gold. That's fucking cool. Self-crafted, another great one. Players can only wear equipment they have crafted. That's cool. Item quality level. Players can only wear equipment that is of normal or poor quality. Not as cool. Slow experience gain. That's like you could basically just do that without this. Very slow experience gain. I don't know what it means by rewards, but quest experience only. That's kind of neat. Players only receive experience from quests. And then Iron Man rule set. What is it? When you click that, what does that go to? This isn't even a page anymore. I don't know what this is even going to look at. Iron Man is like hardcore, but with way more, right? Yeah, we can't die. You can't wear above white. Talents are allowed. Oh, I didn't think they would be. Huh. That's like the live WoW one. I've seen people do that. No primary professions. No flasks or consumables. You can't get carried by somebody else. You can't join a party. You can't do dungeons. Can't have boost your character. Yeah, no buffs basically. All mounts are allowed. Okay. Well, that's either way. That one's just kind of like hardcore plus. I think a lot more people would be interested in that than regular hardcore, to be honest. People just don't know about it. Okay, so smelting. Where is that? Oh well, there it is. Let's get these on the bars. Requires forge. I'm standing right next to it. That's not a forge? What are you talking about? that is apparently. That other one's just flavor. I also always make it like way easier to level professions because it's really unfun to level professions in Classic, like really unfun. You have to like, especially with no auction house, like it's not so bad with an auction house, you can just spend the money, but yeah, it's garbage. I really like the way Dragonflight and Onward professions work, where the leveling skill is like hugely dependent on your ability to actually craft stuff, not just to make whatever you would want to make. This is way cooler. Alright, so that's all the binding materials. I don't think there's any point to this. That's not going to be like actually leveling the profession, but we'll hang on to it. Okay, so we could make, I think we make one of each, provided we get, like, an actual enchant. We'll take that. We did get an enchant. We got one with 2, you see it automatically announces it. What do we get? What is that, bugged? What is that? What is that? Strength, stamina, AC, FR, and 20 frost spell damage? That's like broken as fuck, isn't it? Isn't that like our best piece? Oh, we got armor. AC. What the fuck is FR? Fire resist? Isn't there a resist tab? Oh yeah, here. Yeah, it is fire resist. Okay, so AC is armor. That's like a Diablo thing. So that's a very, very good one. So we don't need to re-roll that one. It's like probably the best we can get. And we got spell damage, which is crazy. This one's nature. So that ain't it. That's totally useless. We will put it on. It's an upgrade technically. So now we can make wrists until we get like a really good one, I think. What do we got? Nature, just all kinds of spell damage. We don't really want that. Not useful. This time we got holy spell damage and shadow resistance. This time we got nothing. This time we got nothing again. Pretty low chance. Again, nothing. And we can only make one more pair of pants. Let's actually go ahead and look at. We can like learn new stuff now too. Yeah. Also gave myself enough money that like money's not gonna be a thing, because I don't really feel like that being a thing is fun right now. Can we make other items? How do we make the weapon? Oh, we need leather. We might do that in the next episode or something. Oh, we can also make a belt, so let's make the belt. Come on, let's get a good roll on the belt. Nothing. Damn, that sucks. We can still make... Oh no, we're out now. Shit. Damn it, I wanted to like keep going. Ugh. That's the end of the episode, guys. Not the way I wanted to end it. Well, we gotta pick one. I guess we're gonna take... I think spell power is good for us still, right? Yeah, the other ones don't even have anything at all, so... But yeah, you see like the transplant thing. Okay. Well, I mean, that was a big... The chest was gigantic. Like, that was ridiculously good, I think. I mean, you still see we still only have 17 stamina, which is like less than we would have if we just had base stats. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna show you this. Like I said, this is all... I want this to all play out. Is there no vendor in here, really? Hold on. Thought we were gonna be able to vendor. So let me show you how this works. So there's a database with all the tables, and then we go to it would be stat, player class stats. Okay, and so 6 is Death Knight, so we just add zeros for all these, right? But let's look at like any other class. Let's look at Warrior. Warrior's 1. Yeah, so here's what a Warrior would have. Level 1, they would have 23 strength. By level 7, they would have 30 strength. So right now we have 17. We're level 7. You know what I mean? So it's not really that big of a deal, but I think it smooths out the early game a bit. And then because that's stacking up, I think, you know, it's going to be relatively even difficulty-wise, hopefully. Honestly, I should probably keep these. I gotta figure out how you get jewel crafting. I don't think we need the stone at all. But yeah, this is fucking fun already. I honestly don't want to log off. But it is 10:30. I gotta get to bed, so we'll be back another day. I don't know when yet, but hopefully we can find some time for this. So stay tuned. I'll be, like I said, I'm gonna try to make a bunch before I do anything. So if this is live, then more are coming. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.